Okay.
Oh,
Hey,
we are
bros,
back.
with Mike's back like I forgot something, cause I'm so.
Horns down.
What up, y'all? I'm Tom.
I'm Cody.
Hey, man. So we got a special one today, right here, man. We are live, baby.
First live stream.
We live, baby.
And I got some news today. I just got a brand new dog.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah,
What you get? What you
yeah,
get?
yeah.
Shih Tzu?
No way. Australian
You,
Aussie.
Aussie,
I got an
nice.
Aussie. Got an
She
Australian
went and
Shepherd.
got you a blue tick, boy. Good old
Nah, what I want
Smokey.
is a Rottweiler, but
Roddy.
Roddy.
That's a solid dog right there,
That's my
man.
next one probably. I
Hey,
love my animals, bro. Love them more than people. All right, so
it's hard not to sometimes, man.
today we are live, man, and you know it's crazy, bro. We done came a long way, even though
Dude, we have came a long way fast, and I'm here for it, bro. I
yeah,
enjoy this.
yeah, it's beautiful. I ain't gonna lie to you, like it's beautiful. It's fun. I have fun doing this, even if nobody watches. I still have fun doing it.
Dude, I mean, we're just talking. That's all it is. Like at the end of the day, we were talking either way, so might as well let other people hear our thoughts and comment what we were saying to begin
Exactly,
with, man. So
exactly.
I'm excited for it.
So today we are reacting to the AP, excuse me, the AP Top 25 polls. Um, I didn't make an AP Top 25. I don't know if you did, Tom.
No, I didn't end up making one because one, I'm not too upset about the one that's out right now, to be honest with
Yeah,
you. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all.
yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I will talk about some of the tweaks and things that I have from that, but other than that, like it's not bad. Not a
No,
bad
it's
little
not.
poll.
And I'm gonna get it pulled up right here.
I
Uh,
got it if you ain't.
AP poll, what's next for each top 25 team? Man, I am upset that we're not back down to the teens, but it is what it is.
It is what
But
it is.
I'll say before we get into it deep into it,
Mhm.
what I am most surprised about is
Oh,
how far Colorado fell from glory. Like to be the out of college football to them kicking them completely out of the top 25 is.
it's
But I mean, they did
crazy.
get smacked. They did get smacked.
Hey
But
man, it happens to the best of us.
it happens, man. They maybe then go out there against USC next week and put a dub up and get back in there. But I will say this: I'm not like even you said it the other day yourself. I'm not too happy with how uh, Oregon's coach handled that conversation. Right? You understand where Deion is coming from. 1-11, you talking all this mess. Man, we're not fighting for
Crazy,
clicks. Where was this
crazy.
conversation at when Georgia let y'all put up 3 points? What, a year ago?
Yeah,
When they only
last
put
year.
up,
Yeah,
yeah, you only put up 3 points against Georgia. And where was that conversation at? We're fighting for no, man. That same energy you got to transfer. Not when you're winning. If you're gonna talk crap, talk crap. Hey, talk your stuff, man. But you got to do that not only when you're losing, not only when you're winning, but when you're losing. And so
right.
it kind of was for show. I feel like right there, he had this opportunity to kind of show like he was something. We understand what Oregon's going to be at. They do it every year. We'll see at the end of the year when you play your USC's and your Washingtons and Washington States. We'll see where that same energy is at then. But they won. It's a great game. They went out there and did what they're supposed to and showed they were the superior opponent. And that's where they're ranked where they're at right now. But
Yeah,
we'll say I wasn't too happy about it the way he handled that situation.
yeah. So, overall, like we had a lot of great games this weekend. I kind of want to just start with the elephant in the room with the Notre Dame Ohio State. Great game, great defensive game. I knew to take the under. Last year it was like that. This year, same thing. Um, it's almost identical. Last year, Ohio State took it in the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
This year, they took it in late in the fourth
Like, I
quarter.
mean, do we fault Notre Dame's coach for not putting that 10th man in, not wanting to risk the
The
penalty right
11th
there?
man,
Yeah,
yeah.
he had 10, not wanting to run the 11th man out to get that penalty. Do we fault him for that? Or was that kind of like, hey, you got to make do with what you got in that situation?
They just
Like,
came off a timeout too. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
and it's a bang bang moment. Like, who is it, him or the coordinators in that situation that fumbled the bag on that one?
I mean, it's high intensity. You know the crowd's rocking. Your second year coach.
Yeah.
You the game is on the line right here. I get the pressure of that situation is critical, and I mean obviously so. It cost them the game, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like somebody got to account. You know what I mean? Like,
Somebody's got to lose their job for that.
yeah,
Like,
I
hey,
mean,
you're not fired, but just know you're not on the sideline. You're gonna be up in the booth next
I
time.
guess it's kind of like you don't think of that. Like in that situation, you're like, okay,
Mhm,
this is the play we're running, this
mhm.
is the scheme we're running, and this, we need these people out here. And so, and it's kind of like the players, the coaches. I don't know. And that was the last time out, so you couldn't call a timeout. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, and they still barely got it with 10 people on the field.
I mean, barely. They were. I mean, they were grinding out there. I mean, it was almost like a Super Bowl play with the Seahawks right there and the Patriots. Like run the ball, and they did what they're supposed to, and they scored just like they should have ran the ball with Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl. And I mean, you were grinding that whole way. You made it from like 20 yards back. You had like 7 seconds. You were making the plays that need to be when they came across that middle. We knew that Notre Dame was targeting Marvin Harrison, right? They thought the pass was coming to him, so they kind of played heavy to that side, and they left the left wide open. Though there should have been a man there.
And I
I
seen
mean,
that too during the game, or during the replay. I was like, because they showed the overhead view, and I was like, why does it seem like they didn't have enough people out there?
like,
Or
is
it wasn't
somebody
even.
not there?
Yeah, it was like it seemed like somebody should have been in that position. Like that was my instant reaction as soon as I
Yeah.
seen that live, and I was just kind of like, well, they cost you the game. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, it really did. And it's one of those. It was a game of attrition, like back and forth, and it's whoever made the worst mistake at the worst possible time. And you definitely made the worst possible mistake not having everybody out there. Not to say that you would have stopped them,
yeah,
but you could have had somebody right there where he just didn't easily fall forward into it. And it might have been a different ball game right there.
yeah,
Uh,
and well, you live and you learn, and I think Notre Dame still controls their own destiny. They absolutely have to win out. They don't have a conference championship.
you have no choice at this point. You have
Yeah,
to.
you have no conference championship. You only dropped 2 spots, which is saying something.
Yeah,
But still, another team I want to highlight too is the USC team.
yeah. That was not a strong win. Arizona
It,
State was fighting them hard, bro.
they were, and is it? And I
Forks
feel
up
like
right
they
there.
did.
Forks up.
I feel like they did last year too. I don't remember the last year's score, but do you fault Tom? Do you fault USC for falling 3 because of their play, or that these teams are just performing at a higher level with Washington, Penn State?
I think at this point they're definitely performing at a higher level, 100%.
Man,
You look at USC week in and week out, like they're not wowing me for the spot that they should. As a top 5 team, you should be like Arizona State is not a quality opponent by any means. It's not like they're bad, but they're not like a top tier. They're a Colorado level, right? Well, maybe Colorado's a little bit better than them, but
right,
you're still struggling to win. Though you pulled away at the end, we saw it's 42-28. At the end, you pulled away, but you had the reigning Heisman quarterback on your team, and you're not playing like that. I mean, it's one of those where it's like Notre Dame or it's like Oregon. It's like, are y'all just good because of the level of opponent so far, and that's why you kind of duping us right here? What we're saying, or you guys actually good and you just kind of taking it easy on these guys. So
right.
I do see them falling backwards. And I think they deserve to be where they're at until somebody that shows that they deserve to be better. Go ahead and get your ranked opponent in there. Like Georgia. I don't feel Georgia should be number 1, to be honest. Mine, actually, I do have a little chorus with the top 4 at least. I think, honestly, Florida State might need to be 1 or 2. It might need to go Michigan, Florida State, Texas, then Georgia. I just don't see
You think
Georgia as.
so?
I honestly do. Georgia has struggled with UAB. Like week in and week out,
Georgia's
we see.
Georgia's not my problem. Georgia's
Yeah,
not my problem.
we see Georgia week in week out studying. I mean, not studying, struggling at the beginning of all these games, and finally you pull away in the fourth quarter. It's very benign with them. It's like this is boring. Like without Brock Bowers, Georgia wouldn't be what Georgia is. Like he's definitely carrying the load of that team.
I
So
don't. I don't think Georgia's my problem. I think Florida State is honestly.
you think so?
2 weekends in the row, you
Now we
had.
will, but look at it like this. I know what you're saying, but I said it earlier with Florida State, right? This is the first road overtime game Florida State has been in and won. Like they usually don't get to that point where they're on the road. And think about you at Clemson. That's a rivalry game. We said that was going to be a determining game in the ACC, right? That's a rivalry game, and you barely squeaked that one by right there. So you can have some close games, and for the most part, Florida State's games haven't been that close. But for me, seeing Georgia at that number 1 spot it's about as irky as seeing Alabama in the top 10 when they tried to keep them in there so bad. Though they're out of it now and they're where they should be.
I
I don't
mean,
like Georgia in that top spot. I'd rather have a Michigan up there.
I don't like Michigan either. Honestly, like
I don't know. Michigan's rolling. They're not looking bad right
I
now
feel
to me.
like Michigan, you get like I don't. Michigan's offense has just always been questionable to me. Like I I just don't love it. But I mean, I get like if you're giving me the eye test,
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't care about last year. Okay,
Yeah.
so give me Texas one,
Hmm.
give me probably Georgia two, Michigan three, Ohio State four, Florida State five. So just flip Georgia and Texas right now, just
Yeah.
because that
That's where I would put Georgia like third, fourth. I'm not having Georgia number one. I don't. They're going off of last year, like that momentum from last year, but you're not the same team as last year. And I think the way their schedule is so cupcake this year that it's just hard to really give them true tests. Right, we've seen it in South Carolina. South Carolina tried. Spencer Rattler was trying their best, but that wasn't a true test. Georgia doesn't have any really true test games. If we go through Georgia's schedule, and I'll pull it up over here so I can actually speak to it. Um, Georgia honestly probably has one of the two solid games on there, right? I, I know they say, oh, Tennessee, there's so sometimes. That's still a tough game when you come into Neyland at night to play. That's not an easy game. Florida is going to play Georgia tough, right? Kentucky's going to play Georgia tough, though they're not a great team. They're still undefeated, Kentucky, but it's not really that hard. You got Auburn, the South's oldest rivalry. Auburn's not great.
right.
Kentucky, you're undefeated, but Kentucky's not great, right? Vandy, Florida, man, you never know which Florida's going to show up, right? And they play on a neutral site in Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken, right? Then we go down Missouri, not great. Ole Miss, man, if they get off, that's where it gets a little tough right there. Finally, they get a little bit of a Florida in there. So sometime Missouri, thicker kicker ain't going to get it done. Ole Miss might get a win, and then Tennessee at night, just because it is a big rivalry, and that's a game that is the deciding factor if we can get it together. So all in all, you look at Georgia's schedule, it's like, at what point do we really say like, hey, it is tough enough to determine that you are still a high quality number one? Like, prove to me you're number one. Bump them down
I
to two or
think
three, and prove to me you're number one.
I think with them, it's the first half. The first half Georgia is not good. The second half
Yeah.
Georgia potential back to back to back. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like Alabama, or excuse me, it's kind of like Georgia is wanting to.
Oh, and we got a comment in. I'm gonna make sure we address it, not to cut you off. We do got a
Yeah,
comment here
yeah.
from Sheldon Coven. He said, "Captain, who hasn't struggled this season? A lot of people have struggled this season. They admittedly they have, but Georgia has struggled against people they shouldn't be struggling against at the beginning of the game. UT Martin, you should have been struggling at the
Very
beginning of the
true.
game. Ball State, you shouldn't be. UAB, you shouldn't be struggling as a number one reigning champion. You should not be struggling against these teams. Though see the ending scores, and they are where they should be. Uh, they are struggling with these teams. And Michigan is streaky. You're right. They showed us same potential last year and dropped the ball. I can see Texas at one for sure. And agreeably, I could see them there too. Shameless plug. I am possible. Sheldon Coven, Jane Coven. This is great. Christian products that they put out. I love to see it. But yeah, I agree with that. I don't like them at one. I'd rather have a Texas there, like you said, to flip it.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on. Alabama Ole Miss, great game. I think, like I said, I had Alabama covering the spread. They covered spread and then some. Lane Kiffin has yet to do it against Nick Saban. I don't know if he ever will, honestly. And I
He
didn't,
can't play a complete game.
I
He
didn't
can't.
believe Jackson Dart was going to be the person to do it for Ole Miss. I didn't have any faith at all. Like Jackson Dart's not bad, former USC quarterback, but I just was not. I wasn't feeling the we're gonna beat Alabama this year. A lot of people did have Ole Miss beating Bama, but me, no, I didn't see it. A lot of people don't like Jalen Monroe still. Say what you want. I agree to disagree. He's just gonna have to be it this year. Like
Yeah.
that's it's he's just gonna have to be it. And then whether or not they make it to the CFP, time will tell. But I think Bama did what they were supposed to do. They didn't look great on offense, but defense still is their biggest assets.
Yeah. 100%. Look at it at the end right there. They put up 11 in the third and 7 in the fourth. Okay, good job, Alabama. You put up 24 points. Your defense held off Ole Miss as they should, right?
Yeah.
But I just Alabama's still not a great team to me. I thought Ole Miss. I mean, they did challenge them like I thought they would, but I thought it would be a little bit tougher for them. It's just Alabama's so sometimes, but Nick Saban, he's going to get his in one way or another, right? I don't think the Texas game we can say it's indicative of the season completely,
I
but we
think
will
Texas is the number
say,
one seed. I don't
yeah,
think, you
and
know.
that's what I'm saying exactly. We saw that Texas is a solid team, so you lost against one of the best teams in the nation, right there, right? So it's not like you lost against Ole Miss, a Mississippi State, Arkansas, somebody like that. No, Arkansas is not a bad team. That is a game Alabama might have to watch out for. They are sometime because
They
no,
gave
it's going to be
LSU a fight this weekend too.
yeah.
Yeah, they
So
did.
that's the West is still wide open right now. And I
Yeah,
will
still
say
wide
that
open.
if Arkansas or the rest of these can anybody who goes against Alabama right now, you can play a complete game against Alabama, you can win. And South Florida really showed that. Like if they had played a complete game, that 17-3 was indicative of how the game really went. We saw the game.
Yeah.
And same thing with Ole Miss. They were controlling that first half, but Alabama, we know, is a second half team, right?
Yeah.
That's when they make their money, is in that second half. Being better than you at the end of the game showed that they have that stamina to keep fighting. So, good job, Alabama. You won the game. You should have won the game. But I'm still not impressed with the West right now.
Yeah. So moving on to my, I'd probably say my alternate top five. Washington. Washington is rolling right now.
Washington looks good, man.
Penix is second in the Heisman race right now.
Mm.
Dog, like putting up points. I'm talking about points after points each week. I really like this Washington team. Honestly, like I like Texas right now. I still like Florida State, and I like Washington a whole lot. Like those are probably my three favorite right now, or not. I won't say favorite because I don't like Texas. So, but as far as like just putting on the show, you got to give it to them. And you know, speaking of Texas, Texas has a big test coming up October 7th against Oklahoma, and if both of these teams go into this undefeated, it's definitely college football game day. Texas, I think the winner of that runs the table. But the thing about that is Oklahoma and Texas can fumble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can fumble, but if they play consistently, good ball, they'll be in the college football playoff.
I 100% agree. Texas, if they can, and I think Texas really is going to have a tough one come Oklahoma. But if Texas does what Texas is supposed to do, right? That I see them as definitely one of the teams. If I had to guess four teams, I had to project four teams who I think could play a complete season and get to the rest to get to the CFP. I see Florida State, I see Texas, Michigan, and Georgia's. Oh, I don't even know about Georgia because it's still a toss up with how they do come the rest of the season and if they
November they
make the
got a
playoffs.
tough stretch for
They
sure.
got a tough stretch, so I'll say Michigan, Texas, Penn State, and Florida State. There might be if Georgia don't get their act together, but
You think
ESPN.
two Big Ten teams?
I don't know. ESPN really they really love Alabama, so they will find a way to get Alabama back into the picture by the end of the season. I guarantee it. If there's a
Nah.
one-loss team on there, they really want to get back in it will be Alabama. But that quarterback
I
situation,
mean,
I don't think there'll be one loss for much longer.
if they are a one loss team, yeah, they have to be. I mean, why would you not put them in? If they would beat Georgia in the conference championship, they would beat the number one seed.
But if they beat Georgia, does Georgia then get kicked out in that situation? Who do you let in?
No, because by that point,
One loss
Alabama.
Georgia, one loss Alabama. But I mean, Ohio, Michigan, they will battle that out. And Penn State, we'll see some of the one-loss teams because they're going to fight each other.
I
Right
mean,
there.
Bama could get in there as a two loss team
They
potentially.
they almost did last year.
Yeah.
We saw last year.
So I don't know how you knock the Pac-12 out because you have four.
That's the hard part about it. USC, Oregon, Washington State. Come on, man. That's my little team. I tell you, watch out for over there, Washington State.
Nah,
So
nah, they're deadly on offense too. So it's just kind of like I don't know. If I had to give you four, I'm throwing a wild card out there, and I'm just going my Sooners on a bias basis. I like the
I mean,
ball.
if Oklahoma keeps chugging the way they're chugging, and you can get the win over Texas, but Oklahoma
Yeah,
has to start. You got to score more. That
or
20
yeah,
points was cool against Cincy, but is it going to work against Texas?
I don't know if Texas offense ain't what I'm worried about come that Oklahoma game.
Mhm.
It's their defense that I'm worried about as a fan. So it's kind of like I want to see the under be played out. I want to see a tight game in that one. I mean, I don't want to see. I would love for Oklahoma just to go in and
Handle business.
handle
Yeah.
business, but I would like to see the under play out in that just because I think both defenses are playing good, which is wild to say as an Oklahoma fan. But it's like I say the winner of the Oklahoma Texas game gets in.
Hmm.
I say the winner of the Big Ten. I
Yeah,
say
Michigan, Ohio,
I say
Penn.
Georgia and Florida State. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see right now with the Pac-12 getting in only because one, they're about to start eating each other alive, and two, because Washington, though they had a great win, you had a great win. You exposed the one thing that people worry about with the Pac-12 is can their defense hold up? You allowed Cal, who is not a great team, to still put up 32 points. Though you scored a bunch of 59, which is fantastic, you still let them put up 32 points against you, and they're not a good
I
offense.
mean,
Well,
say
Finley
what
throwing 17 for 32, that's not
I
good.
mean, Washington and USC, I say, are almost identical. I think Washington has a little better defense. USC's defense isn't horrible as defenses has been under Lincoln Riley, but you got to think like if if you putting up 58 points a game, 60 points a game, and nobody can stop it, why would you not get in?
I mean, just like Tennessee last year, we did the same thing, and we didn't get in. I mean,
But
they're
you
going to
also
have some
had two
losses.
losses.
They're also going to have some losses. You think Washington is better than USC, better than Washington State? Let's see who they play. Not knocking
I don't
Washington by any means. I'm
I
not knocking.
don't know if they're better than USC. If they played on neutral site today, I would probably say that Washington would be the favorite,
Hmm.
probably by like 4.5.
Hmm.
But I
Because they
could
play them at USC. They're going to play Utah. They're going to play Oregon State, and they're going to play Washington State. They got Oregon. They are that is a tough stretch for multiple top 25 teams. But if you can come out of that, there's no way on earth you can't put them in because that'd be one, two, three, four, five ranked wins right there. There's
yeah,
no
of
way you
course,
can do
yeah. If Washington runs the table, they're in. If USC runs the table, they're in. Oregon, Utah, they're in. If any of the Washington State can run the
Washington
table,
State,
and
who
they're
I
in.
who might.
And but Florida State still has to play North Carolina, correct? Right? That
Yes.
they even if or they if North Carolina runs the table and Florida State runs the table, they have to play in the ACC championship. And I know we're getting ahead of
Yeah,
ourselves
we
just
way
because,
way ahead of it, but yeah.
yeah, just because this is only week 5 approaching us, but those would be my favorites right now. Like I said, the winner of that Red River
Oddly
Showdown.
enough, not to cut you off, oddly enough, Florida State will not see
Yeah,
North
so
Carolina in the
it'll be
regular
a
season.
ACC
Yeah.
matchup,
So they
championship.
get to the ACC championship, and with one loss, does the ACC champion get in with one loss?
That's why we're expanding. I don't, and I talked to the Vars too, my cousin, for me who don't know, but a lot of people are not happy with, or me and him kind of expressed that I don't really like the 12 teams. 8 teams, cool, and I don't like the expansion either whatsoever. I think Oklahoma, Texas kind of messed that up going to SEC, but once they go to the SEC, you can't sit here and say, okay, now it's going to be 4 or 3 SEC teams in the playoff pictures,
Mhm.
because I mean, majority of the teams will be in the SEC as far as blue bloods and as far as good quality teams. So
Mhm.
it's kind of hard not for USC and all them to move to the Big Ten and then some to the ACC. I don't like it per se. I wish it would just stay the same and then the non-conference should go to wherever they should go. But I mean, Oklahoma, Texas still are in sort of that southeast area, but you know with the expansion coming, I think we will see majority of teams being from the SEC.
Hmm.
We'll
Just
definitely,
because the amount of talent there is hard not to expect them to get somebody in. There's just too many teams, too many talented teams. But we are going to be cannibalizing each other a lot during the regular season and doing away with the divisions. No more East to West. To kind of just the best team comes out alive.
yeah.
It's tough. It is tough.
So I mean, but moving on. The only other critique I would make with this top 25 I would have Oklahoma in front of. I'd have Oklahoma at 11.
Hmm.
I don't think I don't just those one loss teams in front of them. I think is kind of like a slap in the face. You hold a team that is top 10 defense or top 10 offense of last year, which I said I don't care about last year, but they were a top 10 offense last year. You hold them to the fewest points that they've scored in the last 5 years. You hold Cincinnati to averaging 39 points a game to not even scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things that play in that. And then, you got these one loss, which Notre Dame, I give you that one. I can maybe give you that one. But at the end of the day, they are one loss. So, if we was to lose, we'd probably jump out to 25. They hate
Yeah.
seeing Oklahoma up there. But, it is what it is. And I do like Washington State over North Carolina, too.
Hmm.
And Miami over Duke. So I will say that.
I mean, I don't like seeing LSU behind. I mean, Oklahoma behind LSU and behind Alabama. I don't think it's deserved right there.
Yeah, I
Alabama's,
don't either.
especially at one loss, y'all should definitely be uh, in front of both of them. To be
Yeah.
honest with you,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now,
but I digress. I mean, we can't control it. We don't have a vote. Maybe one day, if we do this good enough, and we can get some media positions, we can get a vote and maybe try to correct some of this mess.
and I love how I've seen like the teams only there's nobody that's fell like crazy far back. 5 spots is the most.
Tennessee, we took a hike, my boy. We took
I'm
a
talking about
hike.
this week. I'm talking about
Oh,
this
I was
week.
about to say last week, but we did come down to them 21. But
Yeah, from 23 to 21. I still
and then
like
Ole Miss 15-20 right there.
Missouri is one of my sleepers out there in the SEC this year. Missouri, not saying that they'll go all the way. I think they can cause some ruckus.
Yeah.
I think they can for sure. I mean, they played Georgia close last year.
Mhm.
They got a great defense. They're playing good ball right now. Just came off a win against Memphis, which I know isn't the best of teams, but they're not bad at
Yeah.
all. And Kansas plays Texas this week. I
Yeah.
think that's a big game.
That'll be a test. Jayhawks ain't a bad team over there,
They
right?
have a good offense, and I would love to see. I'm gonna be tuned into that game for sure, and Tennessee, South Carolina as well.
Yeah. I mean, I like Kansas. And I wouldn't say historically I like Kansas. For the past 2 years, I liked them. And I will say this is their second season in a row with a 4-0 start. They haven't done that in like 100+ years, right? So maybe it's a turning of the tide, right? You
You
you got a lot of people leaving your conference. So somebody has to step up now. Who's going to take over the Big 12 with Oklahoma and Texas leaving out? Somebody has to step up. Is Baylor going to come back on top? Is TCU going to make it? They
I'm,
come like real streaky. So,
yeah, I mean Colorado's going to Big 12,
oh
so
yeah, Colorado coming over.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, but what Colorado are we going to see?
yeah. I mean, in Colorado's like I said, it's so hard to win year one again as a coach. I mean, Lincoln Riley did it. He came into nobody leaving. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody really left that Oklahoma team when he came in. But you say Kansas has the 4-0 start. Oklahoma is entering its first or its 17th 4-0 start in the last 20 seasons, the most out of any FBS school,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, boomer. Blue blood. I mean, that's all I gotta say. We had the
Bro,
most 10-win seasons since '98, since '99. Excuse me. But we just can't finish it off, bro.
I, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say that per se. You can't finish off. I think if we look at it historically, around about the same time that 98, 2000, that little era right there. Uh, there was two teams who really stood out above everybody else: Oklahoma and Tennessee, right? Right.
Well,
at
actually,
this
not
time.
Tennessee. Not. I
Tennessee
mean,
was.
not Oklahoma. Excuse me, not
I mean,
Oklahoma. They
y'all had a
Oklahoma
national championship season in 2000.
in 2000, but 99 we had a
That's what
bad
I'm saying.
season.
That's what I'm talking about in that little era right there.
Oh,
Like
okay.
people were standing out. The Sooners, it says right here, the Sooners have allowed fewer than 20 points in each of their first four games for the first time
1987.
since 2000 in their championship run.
Oh, damn.
Right.
What
So
was
you guys
19?
are setting yourself up as though you might make that run. Oh, you got to make some believers that those past couple seasons, really a while now, people get to believe and they get you down those lower ranks, and you get to the end just to choke. We're not going to keep putting you down there. It's like Notre Dame. We're not going to keep putting you down there just for you to lose. So I think now it's almost Oklahoma has something to prove. Like, yes, you're at 14, but take that as though you're not the guy in the spotlight right now. Because we see what happens when they try to put you in that spotlight, right? They put you on a pedestal. That just means you has that much room to fall from.
I mean,
So I think grinding your way up is a little bit better, but you guys also got to play some ranked games. You're not playing any ranked
yeah,
games.
we ain't playing anybody right now, which is fine, and I
I
agree.
mean, at
But the
all. You
thing
guys don't
is,
have a lot of ranked people.
3 out of the 4 appearances that we had, we lost to the national champion.
Yeah.
So one of them was just crazy historically good, like
Yeah.
probably the best we've ever seen, probably with that LSU team in 2019.
Arguably. I mean, some people might say Bama, what, 2012 Bama? Uh,
Miami, a lot of people say Miami in
yeah, Miami.
2003,
But
but
that 19, Joe Burrow and his squad was ridiculous.
bro, nobody
Yeah.
was touching him. Nobody. Like it was crazy. And a lot of luck comes from winning championship too.
Mhm.
Injuries, things playing to your favor.
Stuff just has to fall your way. It has to be
Yeah.
perfect. It has to fall. I mean, we see with Georgia last year, stuff just has to go your way. Like a
Yeah.
kick with a last second with
A
some
last
money on the
second
line.
coup.
It's awfully convenient. That man shanked the heck out of that kick.
Boy.
It's a little sus. That's
Yeah, I
all I'm
think Ohio State definitely missed the championship last year.
saying. Yeah.
But
Things just fall, like you said, things have to go your way. And in that
yeah.
moment, we saw it.
No, I definitely like where Oklahoma's sitting right here. I would like a little more consistency out of Dylan Gabriel and our running back room, man. We have too many good running backs not to figure it out, and I see how Jeff Lebby, which is former Ole Miss OC, was saying basically who they're picking week by week is whoever has the best week at practice,
Yeah.
and literally because they're all good, and which is a great thing to have, but it's like we need to get somebody consistent. We need to
Yeah. I
have
would say that you lack the consistency with your
yeah,
team that way, right?
you one week you have a good game, next week you ain't playing. And that's
And
really how it's
and
been
you gotta think
going.
about your lineman too. Your lineman, okay, I'm used to Joe Blow. When he comes up, boom, he hits my hip. I know he's going. I can usually think about where he's going. Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
way he likes. As opposed to okay, if Johnny Doe likes it this way, but Jimbo likes to go this way, it's like, hold on, wait, who's back there right now? And you forget, like, you start to mess up with chemistry.
yeah.
So
And Marcus Majors and Tawee Walker, they love their inside the gap runners.
yeah,
Javante Barnes, Gavin Sawchuk, they bounce it outside. They're the speed backs. They're really the third and fourth down backs, or third down backs, I should say, in long situations. But we didn't even see them this week, and I don't know, bro. It's just weird. It's weird how things are playing out, but that's the 25.
hmm
Whether you like it or don't, it's a few things that I would change. Not nothing major, but I don't know. Right now, it's like a toss up, and it's very early. We ain't even hit the halfway mark of the
yeah.
season, but it's very early. Very early.
Yeah, and like you said, a lot of stuff can change right now. It's time for a conference play to start, and that's when you can really test people's metal, right? You set up these early games to get in a groove, right? Start being able to determine, okay, who's going to be where, what running back we're going to have, what quarterback should be in right now, receivers. Are we able to stay healthy going from injury? Because we look at this part of the season, there's a lot of injuries starting to occur, right? And we look at Alabama, for example. They don't even have the quarterback down. I mean, they're going to go with Milrow now, but it took them 4 games, almost 5 games to the season to really determine, okay, you are our starting quarterback. We're not just going to flake on you, and we're going to have to make do with what we got in this moment.
It's funny. It's so funny because I was talking with my boys, and he was just like Baron. He said, like some coaches are stuck in their ways, but he made a good comment. He was like Nick Saban, he don't give a f. Basically, that's what he said. He don't care. He's the but I got you, Tom. He's the dude that is like All right, y'all don't like Jalen Monroe? Well, let me show you what we got in the backseat. So,
You don't
like,
like it? All right. I
yeah.
got
So
you. I got
let
you, man.
let me show you what's back here. It's like, yeah, now what? So like this
Yeah,
what we dealing with. So it's
yeah,
like either you hate it or love it. This is
yeah.
our guy at the end of the day. So I think that was just that start pulling him. I don't think was indicative of how he
Especially,
played.
I mean, but look at the game they pulled him at. It's like
Exactly. And
USC.
so it's
So
one of those games like, all right, let me show you. Let me show you
yeah,
something. So yeah, I love Nick Saban. I think he's a great coach.
yeah,
I would love for him to come to Oklahoma, but I like BV. I'm sticking by BV.
yeah.
The intensity he brings is just unmatched, bro. It's unmatched, and I love it. I really hope success for him for the sake of me and Sooner fans, but I love BV and I'm sticking by him. I think he'll get the job done. We got a great recruiting class coming in this year. I think y'all are right behind us, Tom, and
Yeah,
I think we're seventh right now, seventh in some places.
I
We're
think
top
we're
five in
nine.
some places as
Yeah.
well, but I think y'all are ninth. But still great.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't want to look too far ahead. One, because we know how these cats are. We talked about it time in and time out. Uh, it doesn't take much for them to change their mind. A little bit of money on the line, a lot of these jokers are going to change their mind, right? Come signing day in December. So until you are on campus and playing, it's nothing solidified right there. So uh, I'm excited for who we got coming, but until you're on campus and you're playing, I'm not counting my eggs. I'm not counting the chickens before they hatch.
Exactly. These kids change their mind so quick these days. It's crazy, bro. It's
And
crazy.
money do it. And matter of fact, we need to get somebody in here, especially one of these athletes who went through the NILs, and somebody who's experiencing that. And you can tell me how it was. How was your experience dealing with the NIL, dealing with those contracts? Because you see some of these guys end up with this contract, like the guy I think for Florida, it was like a $400,000 NIL, and the way the contract was set up, that once he got to the league for the next 20 years, he owed like 20% of his net profits to this company, and
It's crazy.
he's suing to try to get it removed. But these kids who don't know any better, who don't have that manager or really somebody in their pocket, I mean in their ear, like, hey, this is a dumb decision you're making. And I think that's why personally I respect, out of most coaches, I think I respect Dion the most, because he's trying to let these boys, because that's really what you are, become men, and he's showing you the proper way to do it. Hey, take your glasses off when you talk to somebody. That he didn't do it, but the way you interact with people, the way you treat it as a business, like get your money out of it, not just be used and abused. Like go in and show who you are, and kind of take that and run with it. So, and you see that at Jackson State. You watch this the documentary they had about him. He's teaching these boys to be men, like respectful, speak
Yep.
to women properly, like not animals. So, uh, I think that's what a lot of these people are lacking, because they get in these situations. You see the money. A lot of people are already getting money before, right? You were just getting it under the table, as we saw with a once Heisman winner, the kind of situation they got into. Um, but now that it's all out there, you're going to get taken advantage of, because these people are wanting just to win. They need you at the school to win. I don't care if who you are. Hey, here's $200,000. Come to my school right now to play. We'll worry about the small print later.
Yeah.
Come play now. We get this dub, and you can go on about your business later on. So,
Which is more than enough. But
yeah,
not too wrapped up into NIL. But I do want to say that we are starting a new series here. We're doing a
yeah,
prediction counter between me and Tom.
hmm,
We'll have that up
when
probably next video
yeah,
when we do the week 5 matchups predictions.
hmm,
So we're gonna have a little counter, little game that we're gonna play for the season. We actually got word of that last night, so we didn't even think of it. I don't know why we didn't think of it, but we're
I'm,
still learning. We're
I'm
still
definitely
learning.
winning. I'm ahead right now.
Nah, you ain't. But
I might be down one, if that, if that. I might
we,
be down one.
I will say you made more money.
I did. I
You
did.
made more money.
Hey, if y'all listen to my parlays in this last one, you definitely came out on top.
Yeah,
I definitely had a come up on this last weekend.
Yeah, gotta know when to hold them,
Yeah, you gotta know
know
when
when to fold them.
know when to walk away. Know when, hey, I took that. What is it? It's spiked up. I said, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need 59,000. I'll take what you gave me right there. I'll take
Hey, but how sick? How sick would you be? You pull out at $400, and then you just see 12,000, 18,000, and then they get up to 40,000,
yeah.
and then you like, man,
I'm throwing my phone.
bro,
I'm
I'll
throwing
be
my phone.
throwing up vomiting.
When I got what I got, I tried my best to stop looking at it. I
Yeah.
was, okay, don't look at it, don't look at it, don't look at it. Like, oh, they hit. Then you look at it again, the next person says, ah, God dog. But then you get to the point where one of the teams didn't cover, which I'm glad I pulled out when I did because I still got a nice profit. But one of the teams didn't cover on it, and I was like,
Right.
okay, I wasn't gonna get it all anyway. So I'm glad with what I made because I put very little in to get that.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So, but yeah, we'll definitely have that up next video. But I mean, anything else you want to add?
no, man. Again, thank you for the folks who came by. Thank you so much for what Sheldon Covington right there, man.
Yeah, for
On
sure.
the comments, actually getting people to engage with us. Everybody who comes to check it out. We're grateful for any time anybody takes that time out of their day just to stop by, even if it's for 1 second. And let me speak about that. Facebook is doing great, man. I just figured out how to work Reels, and the first one I put
Tom
up,
is
I was like,
old.
not old, but
Tom is old.
to get on there 500 plus on the first reel within a matter of minutes, that was, I mean, I was excited for that one, man. So thank you for the engagement. Anybody who's actually out there, or Twitter, Spotify, not yeah,
Spotify,
Spotify,
TikTok.
TikTok, Instagram, all of it. If you're out there engaging with us in any way, shape, or form, thank you so much. And for the people who are Tennessee fans, if you made it to this point in the video, I will be at the game, and I'm going to have a free T-shirt. So maybe I can meet somebody who's a fan, and if I can get at least one more subscriber while we're there, anytime I talk to somebody, at least get one more subscriber. Let's start getting these T-shirts out there, and hopefully game days cool enough to try to come to Tennessee versus South Carolina.
Speaking of that too, did you also when is the merch supposed to come in?
Let's check the T-shirts. So the T-shirts should be in Monday or Tuesday, right? It's the hoodies that we got to worry about being slow.
Okay.
But those T-shirts they already had shipped, so we'll have the T-shirts out to give out
Okay.
for sure.
Are you wearing the merch to the game?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey.
As long as it's not, I mean, when we do the ball walk and I'm talking to everybody and advertising with everybody, I'm definitely gonna have it on. My seats are in good enough position that maybe I can get on the camera, and I might just try to walk.
Hey.
Bros and Mike sit on there like, I'm gonna still have my Tennessee there, my hat, something. I'm gonna still have my orange on, but I'm definitely gonna be rocking some Bros with Mike's. Trying to find my way to get on camera.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I know we definitely will be attending the game together. I know some of the podcasts
Oh
that I watch,
yeah,
some of the podcasts that I watch do what is it called? They're the media, so they have their own little podcast, but they're the media, so they get to interview the coaches, coordinators, and be at all the games.
yeah,
That's literally what we trying to be on.
yeah. If I get to that
If
at
we could
some point in
just
time,
be
man.
like in the SEC, just covering the SEC, because we'll definitely come across our teams. I would love to do like each team, but it'd make it more special when our team is actually there.
Yeah,
But that's the goal. That's the goal. But like I said in the beginning, it's just keep having fun with it.
yeah. And I mean, that's all we can do right now is have fun. Though we're not getting engaged on some of the posts with the free stuff. I mean, free? Like, dude,
That's
if I knew
straight.
somebody's gonna have something free, I'd be the first one. So I mean,
I
if you
give it
ain't
out to
there,
the hood.
I can start with the hobo down the road and let him
Hey,
walk around with it. Hey, what's bros with
give
Mike's?
it out to
And
the
we go to
hood.
groups. So, but then again, thank you for anybody who did take the time to stop by the live today. I posted a couple places. If you made it here, thank you, man.
Orange
That's
down.
about it, man. You got anything else for him, bro?
Nah, man. I just want to say I appreciate it. We're gonna keep growing, keep going. That's the motto. Keep going, keep growing. So we love everybody that support us. We'll be up there soon,
Yeah, one day.
one day.
Yeah. I'll
But
show you how great I am.
exactly, that is the podcast. I'm Cody.
Bros with mics. I'm Tom. Hey, thank you guys. But we out, my boy.